Hello, I'm Sophiralou and welcome to my channel.
Hello guys and welcome to this month's fan art video, and I have decided to dedicate this fan art to one of my all-time favourite books, Harry Potter. Well, series. Harry Potter was a huge part of my childhood. I remember reading the books in secondary school and in primary school and being excited every year that they were coming out. So I decided to do this small tribute to the three main characters in the series. These are kind of my own interpretation of them, so they're not like the movies. They're sort of like what I always envisioned when reading the books. I originally wanted to do like a really big piece with all the characters, but I just couldn't get it. I don't know what it was. I think it's just because I'm in the middle of preparing for Manchester Expo, so I'm just a little bit swamped at the moment, and I was just sat there and I was like, nothing I'm doing is coming out the way I want it. So I decided to change it up and do just one of Harry with Hedwig, one of Hermione with Crookshanks, and one of Ron with Scabbers, who I added later on, so he might not be in the video footage, I'm afraid. I will be taking them with me to Manchester Expo, and if they don't sell there, they'll be going on up in the store. So let's talk about Harry Potter. I'm a bit of a Potter nerd. I have every single one of the books. I've probably read them at least 18 times each. My favourite is the third one, because so much happens in the third one. And if you haven't read the books or seen the films by now, warning, there will be spoilers in this video. Harry Potter was the sort of series that I think it was like 1997 I got my first Harry Potter book, and because we were reading them in school, and like every year when they did eventually come out, like I got the editions from my parents, and it was always released like just after my birthday, so I always got a Harry Potter book, and I just remember not being able to sleep until I'd read it all, and like it was just such a wonderful series, and it probably would still stand the test of time now, and there's still quite a few hardcore Harry Potter fans here, and I really love the fact that you all love Harry Potter as much as I do. So with this sort of series, I kind of just really wanted to do watercolours, because like watercolours is kind of my go-to thing when I am feeling a little bit low with my work. I just find that watercolours is really nice to use just to get into the flow of things and really work hard on the actual piece. So my sort of idea with this is like just like little moments for the pets, and I was like trying to make everything really detailed, but it just wasn't working. And you get days like that where sometimes stuff just doesn't want to work, and I was really struggling with that. And I'm sorry if you can see my phone and the screen in the background. I tend to watch stuff while I'm drawing. So yeah, this one, it actually ended up a lot more smaller portion of the actual piece because I didn't end up liking the full piece. But like Harry was my favourite character in the series. Apart from Peeves. Peeves was my favourite in the books. Like he was such an idiot. Like he was such like an angry poltergeist. I just loved him. I love the fact that he completely just wanted to screw over everyone, and it was fantastic. And I really relate to like, oh my goodness, like I think her name was, oh my gosh, what was her name now? She's the ghost that's in the toilet, and I'm thinking of, oh, that's gonna really annoy me now. But no, I really enjoyed like the entire series, and I remember going to watch the films every single year, and I cried like a baby watching the last film because I knew what was going to happen in it, and just everything about it is such a massive part of my childhood that I always feel like I can never draw the characters justice because I was such a huge fan of it. I think my favourite in this series of 3 drawings I've done was Hermione's drawing, mainly because I relate to Hermione a lot. She was a bit of a bookworm, she just wanted to study, she just wanted to learn, and she was really true and loyal to her friends, and Hermione really spoke to me because she was a geeky, nerdish character who really just cared more about her studies and more than anything else, and that really meant a lot to me, and it really spoke to me when I was younger and made me just be more happy with what I was and study with what I was. And I think this is why it's so important to have characters in children's book which maybe they are the unlikely heroes. That Hermione's strongest point was her studies, and that became her strength in the series, and I think that's why she spoke to me so much, because she was a bit of a study bug and I liked that about her. And I reckon that's probably why she really is an inspiring character for me. I did enjoy the films. There was a lot of stuff that they missed out in the films that I was not happy with, but you know, you've got to make cuts to make a piece of cinematography, and I am one of the people who will say I much prefer the books over the films, but I think it's because the books to me go in so much more depth than the films ever did, and I just feel like Harry Potter touched on such a generation, and it's still continuing to touch generations as it is, and we have to thank J.K. Rowling for bringing this story to us that meant so much to so many children and still means so much to adults and children and teenagers today, and it teaches so many good lessons as well. And like, I love reading, and I'll try and read as much as I can. I can't do as much anymore, but I love reading when I can, and I find that every now and again, like even now I'm just like, oh my god, I really want to reread the books. So basically with this series of illustrations I've done, which is just to dedicate to 3 of my favourite characters in the books, I just did watercolours with very simple pencil outlines, and I think it was on Harry I did with the Kuretake manga pen because I just could not get it as sharp as I wanted to, but I really loved the soft look on the way I did Hermione. I think Ron was probably my least favourite drawing out of the 3, but you win some, you lose some, essentially. I'm not particularly happy with these illustrations that I've done. I don't think they're the worst I've ever done, but I don't think they're the best. I've definitely done better in the past, and I've definitely done better work. Fan art, definitely. Like my Princess Tutu piece, I absolutely fell in love with that, and my Steven Universe one. I don't think I've done the characters as much justice in this series, but that's my prerogative. I understand that some people may think different and some people may agree with me, but I just feel like for what I wanted, I didn't get the best out of everything that I wanted to do, which was a bit of a shame, but there's not much I can do on that aspect. So I'm now on to Ron, and the thing I remember, there's a few standout things I remember in the story, and one was when Ron got the ugly sweater, and I was like, oh, I wish my mum knitted me ugly sweaters, and I wanted a ugly sweater with a giant letter S on it, just because I think it would be so funny to have. And I also remember when Ron broke his wand, like that was probably one of the funniest moments in the book. And when they go into the classroom and McGonagall turns into a cat, he goes, that was bloody brilliant. And it's just, every time I read that in the book, it just made me crack out with laughter. So I kind of like hope you enjoyed my quick little illustrations to pay tribute to one of my all-time favourite books and basically one of my favourite movies of all time. I'd like to hear what you guys think about Harry Potter. I want to know what you guys, if you have any fond memories of reading the books, and I always have fond memories of reading the books, and there's so many that I could share, but I'd be here forever. So I'm just giving you a final look over the few illustrations and in their little gold frames, and I hope you guys have enjoyed my video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, stay creative.